Calisthenics training and all the benefits that come with it allow us to explore building muscle and strength in harmony with increasing our proprioceptive awareness, body control, learning loads of new skills, all in the same process. With all this though, the life of a calisthenics athlete choosing this methodology of training can be really difficult, so we're going to be digging into the red flags that you will need to avoid if you want to become the best bodyweight athlete that you can be, and how we can use our knowledge of these red flags to prevent ourselves being railroaded in our progress. Okay, so there are a series of things that could derail us as calisthenics athletes, and while a lot of what we go through today could apply to various aspects of fitness, because of the demands that bodyweight training places on us, there are nuances that make these issues particularly concerning for bodyweight athletes, one of them being spending more than a third of your time attempting skills. This one will probably be a little bit controversial because it is a sweeping statement, but if you're spending the lion's share of your time on skill attempts, you will likely get nowhere fast. And that isn't to say spending time on calisthenics skills isn't worth it, but calisthenics skills alone are less likely to promote the strength and muscle gains that we need in order to do the skill in the first place. Advanced bodyweight athletes typically rely heavily on building global strength in specific ways first, and when the strength is applied to the skill, this allows them to learn and perform the skill safer and more efficiently. The reason why I suggest no more than a third of your time is because generally this means I will be able to give enough attention to forming familiarity and competency in the skill that we're looking to learn, while still devoting a focus to the strength that we'll need to be able to do it. The only exception to this rule is probably going to be the handstand, where the neurological demands of the skill far outstrip the strength demands, and there's actually a lot of benefit to spending more time getting a feel for what it's actually like to perform a handstand. That being said, even for the handstand, we still want to make sure that we're building up our capacity to move better so that we can constantly progress. Which brings us on to the second red flag, which is you're not making progress. The relative subjectivity of training to a calisthenics methodology is what makes it so freeing. Two athletes can get to the same place through very different routes because of the way bodyweight training encourages so many different methods to progressively overload. The issue though comes when we have so many options at our disposal that it becomes overwhelming to manage and track day-to-day progress. And so if we're not careful, we can very quickly get stuck in a rut. Many calisthenics athletes find themselves here, a plateau that they cannot get out of for months or even years. And the fix for this is very simple. You need to measure our progress. Unlike weights, where we can easily identify how heavy we lifted this week versus last week, bodyweight training doesn't really offer us this, but we can still consider our options. Record yourself. Is your pike push-up more piked than it was last week? Great, that's progress. You've managed to get more of our weight over your shoulders and hands. You use a tape measure. Has your planche lean leaned more over your hands than it was the last time you did it? Excellent. Every millimeter we lean shifts our center of mass further forward. Calisthenics is hard and challenging, so measure it, but also celebrate when you do get those little incremental wins. The third red flag is that you're constantly aching. One of the biggest benefits of calisthenics training is the way that we can use compound exercises to develop ourselves in a well-rounded way, working multiple muscle groups together in ways that they're designed to move. But this does have the potential to backfire if we don't manage our ability to recuperate. For example, if we work pull-ups hard on one day, and then we work handstand drills the next, our shoulders can end up taking a battering over the long term without us fully even being aware. This can then be compounded if we're working on highly demanding exercises and skills that take us within the realms of our absolute limits. And the fix for this is to simply listen to our body. Integrate rest days into your training week. Schedule deload days into your programming. You will not lose all your gains from taking a couple days off. In fact, I'd argue your long-term gains will increase, which are the only gains that matter, really. The next red flag we should look at when it comes to assessing our own training is whether or not we're only training with body weight. The closest many calisthenics athletes come to using weight is using a weight vest. There is nothing to be gained in being overzealous in just using body weight, and rejecting the benefits that other training methodologies offer is to leave gains on the table. Learning to use weighted exercises, for example, has great muscle building and prehabilitation rewards that are hard to replicate with bodyweight exercises. As a calisthenics athlete, I'm obviously going to be biased towards training with calisthenics, but by looking out for and avoiding these red flags, we can supercharge our long-term progress. And if you're looking for a set of programs that will make this super simple for you and get you started in the world of bodyweight training, then check out the link below. Or if you want to take a look at how I've used calisthenics to learn some ridiculous bodyweight skills, then check out this video right here.